Hey, and how's it going, everyone? Well, I'm so glad that you have took your time to spend with me right here today on the MRB Wrestling Review Show. I am your co-host, Mike Big Rock Wilson, and last night was NXT from the Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. What I really like about last night's show is that most of the matches on the card were matches where an established superstar comes in from Raw and SmackDown to come into NXT to help elevate the superstars of tomorrow. And with that being said, the show kicked off last night with the Divas Championship on the line. It was AJ Lee going one-on-one with Bayley. And like I said, this is a match for Bayley to elevate herself as a diva going forth in hopes to, go on the shows such as Raw and SmackDown. With that being said, this match was, pretty entertaining considering that Bayley was more concerned and obsessed with the well-being of AJ Lee instead of trying to win the title. So with that being said, it was a not half bad match. It wasn't the best match on NXT considering it's a Divas match, but it was still entertaining to say the least. So overall, it was pretty good the way the show kicked off last night. Also, we saw a backstage segment with Tyler Breeze, and we see this guy again, CJ Parker, photobombing every single picture that Tyler Breeze makes on his camera. So something's going to give eventually, right? Of course. And considering that we know that the CJ Parker's debut was on the same night, his reinvention against Baron Corbin was really, really awkward and cool at the same time. Excuse me. And with that being said, this guy looked like someone from Woodstock '69. This weird, drugged out guy who just walks into the ring and actually went pretty well in his debut, even though the other superstar got some moves in. Most debuts are just flat out one guy doing all the work, but no, this was a 50-50 working match, so it was actually pretty impressive. And with that being said, CJ Parker got the win over Baron Corbin, and then after his post-match interview got interrupted by of course, Tyler Breeze, for that big photobombing. And what I really like are the little things that make a character. And Tyler Breeze really makes a big deal out of people photobombing his own pictures, because this guy is a male model and he wants every picture to be perfect. So it all makes sense with that character of Tyler Breeze. And this is a rivalry right now. I'm actually looking forward to seeing. This is going to be this rivalry has the potential to be really entertaining, and I hope it delivers. Also last night, the Ascension went in the tag team match against Ron Hicks and Michael Zaki. And with that being said, this match wasn't even a tag team match. This was basically a 2-on-1, because the other guy, Michael Zaki, didn't even get the chance to tag in his partner. So with that being said, this was a flat out annihilation, one-sided pinfall victory. And even though I don't like one-sided matches, I like this one because this shows that the Ascension is dominant. They can single out a competitor and not allow the other guy to tag in. And that's what separates the Ascension from other tag teams. And I think right now, this is a tag team that could be elevated now into a tag team championship match against Corey Graves and Adrian Neville sometime in the near future on NXT. And I hope that does happen, because I think these two guys already are ready for it, and they should be competing now for those titles. Also last night, Dolph Ziggler made an appearance on NXT, going one-on-one with Alexander Rusev. I think I got that last name right. I don't know. But what I really like about this is that this is another sort of a debut of a superstar on NXT. And I don't know, this is actually the first time I've ever seen this guy, so I don't know if he's been on, before. So with that being said, this was actually a pretty good match for Alexander. He's a really big guy. He's 300 pounds. He's agile. You see him go off the top rope and attempt a big splash, but to no avail. And then earlier on, we see him pull off a spinning heel kick. For a big guy, this guy's pretty good. And even though he lost to Dolph Ziggler, that was quite an impressive debut for Alexander Rusev. So with that being said, this is another one of those situations where Dolph Ziggler came down to NXT to help the guys out tomorrow. And so far, it's a solid show. And then the main event happened. And all I gotta say, before the night was over, the audience went home happy. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match. It was Antonio Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. And, of course, this is the grudge match of what happened for the past few weeks. Sami Zayn in his debut bet Antonio, and then 2 weeks after that, Antonio bet Sami Zayn. So this is the grudge match. This is the end-all be-all for the rivalry, and it was really, really good, to say the very least. Not only this rivalry, but this match as well. And I really like the little things, the sense of urgency when Sami Zayn quickly got the pinfall victory and led the match 1-0. And then later on we saw Antonio Cesaro gain the second fall via submission hold, which is interesting because no one laid their finishing maneuver just yet. And I like that because the third fall should be a fall where the guy hits their finishing maneuver, because if they hit their finishing maneuver before on the first or second fall, then you'll say, oh, the other guy's going to win because he never laid his finisher yet. So with that being said, I like that, mystery of who's going to get that finishing maneuver in to defeat their opponent. And with that being said, Antonio Cesaro hit the neutralizer, and all these crazy moves happen. I love the little things, the way Antonio suplexed Sami Zayn from the second rope, and Sami Zayn was outside the rope, so he had to pull even extra harder. What strength from Antonio! And of course, the highlight of that match when Sami Zayn was diving through the ring where the pole was, and the ropes in the corner. So it was like, oh man, it's a wonder he never hit the pole when he done that. I was like, oh jeez, that almost made me cringe. And with that being said, man, oh man, oh man, this match was absolutely amazing. No words can describe how great that match was on NXT last night, and the fans went home happy. You heard them chant after the match was over, match of the year, match of the year, match of the year, and that was nothing short of that. Those two guys had an excellent outing. Not only that, an excellent rivalry, and what a great way to end this rivalry, I hope. And with that being said, that was my review of NXT from the Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. For the Big Rock and Bolt Wrestling Review Show, I am Mike Big Rock Wilson. And to all your viewers watching, get plenty of rest. And always do your best.